Today we have the bird wrench from Spyderco. This is a very cool tool, and let's jump right into it. Now this tool right here from Spyderco is very unique because, as you can see, it has a wrench on this side, or a set of pliers rather on this side, a wrench, adjustable wrench on this side. Then it has a bit driver here and a nice knife blade here. And it has a hidden feature that we'll jump into in a little bit. Now, the wrench, or the set of pliers rather, on here, these are actually slip joint pliers. You usually don't see those in the multi-tool world, but this is pretty cool. On this side, you can see how it works. You can actually take these apart, which is really neat. But this is your wide open. This is as far open as it goes. Then you pull this back and you get the more precision plier right here. Pretty neat. These are your handles. It's a very well-rounded tool, so it's comfortable, even though you would think all these contours are really, that they could potentially have sharp edges and be uncomfortable, but they rounded it in such a way that it just makes sense. Really, really neat. All right, so let's go ahead and put this back. Actually, let's put it back here. And that is the compressed version. And then look at the knife. The knife locks into place. This is an 8CR13 MOV knife. This is from the last run of these, and these were made in China. I believe the first version was made in the US, then it moved to Taiwan, and then China. These were fairly difficult for Spyderco to make. A lot of money went into the tooling, machining, and eventually they gave up on it because it was just not selling enough to make it profitable. And it has never come back, unfortunately, but it's a great design, well ahead of its time. So the knife, as we talked about, you can take these apart, actually right there, and then you can actually see the spring mechanism right here. Actually, there we go. This is how we collapse it. I have not actually use this very much. I just got it in the mail not too long ago. These, a lot of times people will want $400 to $800 for these perhaps, or a lot of money. I got this one for under $200, which is actually a pretty good deal, as crazy as that may seem. All right, so the knife you can use by itself. We've talked about the adjustable wrench, which is really neat. Has a very nice pocket clip as well. Then on this side, something else that's neat is you can lock this in place to use the adjustable wrench, so you have a fairly long handle. Really, really awesome. Now we can open this up, the adjustable wrench right here. And I actually need to take out the secret tool. There we go. This opens actually pretty wide, and I think I actually opened it a little too wide. There we go. And I'm going to grab a measuring tape and see how wide these jaws actually open to. Opens to about 3/4 of an inch. Any more, and it does seem like this gets a little precarious. Yeah. So about 3/4 of an inch is about as much as I would want to use this for. Now, one of the secret tools that I was talking to you about, or the secret tool actually, is this one right here, which is like a little rasp. And then you almost have like a punch on the other end, which is, again, really clever, I think, for them to add these tools. Again, this is the bird wrench. The spider wrench, or the Spidey wrench, that one right there has a diamond file, and then it has almost like screwdriver ends on each side. That's a little different. Some of the other things that we'll notice if you look up between these two wrenches are there are different trim levels. Some of them have different blade steels. There are some subtle differences, but overall, mostly the tools look pretty similar. Yeah, there was just so many clever things made into this design. And then this actually has a lever, a unlocking lever. It's actually on this side, and then it folds back up. Now, I think this is what the Tooler Union, what he was actually striving to make, something like this bird wrench. Unfortunately, it wasn't compact enough. One of the beauties of this is that it is very well thought out and it's very compact. So the length of this is actually, it's under 5 inches, it's about 4 3/4 inches long. That's usually 5 inches is about the max you want a tool, even on a belt carry, a multi-tool to be. So I think this is about a perfect size. All right, so we've talked about the knife and then that it's locking. We talked about the slip joint pliers. We talked about the adjustable wrench and then the bit driver. Let's go ahead and take this out again. We have 3 different bits, or 4 actually. Phillips, 2 Phillips, and 2 flat. And then this is a magnetic bit driver. It's pretty awesome. Let's go ahead, put this back in the tool. There we go. I've got to remember how this works. Lock it into place, and you've got a fairly long reach screwdriver. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I really like this design. You can tell that at Spyderco, they really spent a long time thinking about this design. Like I said, the lack of sharp edges, how even on such a relatively small tool, and then all these locks. That is really neat that you have these locks that can fit into place, slip joint pliers. Excellent, excellent design. I would definitely recommend picking up one of these if you can, under $200. I mean, yeah, I don't know that's really worth $200 to $300, but under the $200 mark, I think it's definitely a good tool to pick up. Unfortunately, there is not in production today anything that is really a competitor to this. Now on Amazon, you can get this tool right here. Sometimes it goes under so many names. A lot of times I see it under Cattleman Ranch. It does have an adjustable wrench right here. I have reviewed this, but there's always usually something wrong with these tools. The pliers and the wrench weren't too bad, but I know maybe it's in this version right here. I don't think the knife locks into place. And then I think mine, I had to fix it because it was really loose and I had to tighten the screw down. It's not an awful design, but then with this one, I don't think it's 1/4 inch bits. It actually fits in the end of this handle. That's how it is. And you don't really get much of a reach. So yeah, it's a half-hearted attempt. You can see definitely some of the design cues between the two, but it's not, I mean, you don't get anywhere close to the cool design engineering of this one. Now this one from AliExpress wasn't too bad, but it just does the wrench and the knife. It's almost like a half version of this. It's okay, but I think they're 5mm bits maybe. I don't even think they're 1/4 inch. Yeah, both these designs have 5mm bits, which is unfortunate. There really is no substitute for this. Just like the Leatherman Crunch, when this disappeared, there is no replacement for it, unfortunately. But a really great tool, and definitely some people have said they found these at yard sales. I wish I could go to some of the yard sales you guys find these tools at. That would be amazing. But if you ever find these at a pawn shop under $200, pick it up. A great, great tool. Here's the sheath, the pouch for the multi-tool. Pretty nice little pouch, nothing fancy. Pretty normal design right there, nylon pouch. Let me know what you think, guys, and I'll enjoy reading your comments.